Welcome to Truth Quest. If you are striving to balance earthly challenges with a heavenly perspective in areas like business, family, relationships, money, and personal growth, you have found your community. Welcome back to Truth Quest, where we are just seeking out the truth no matter how hard it is and no matter how much we don't like the answers. So we have today a very beautiful guest and very dear friend of mine and Jamie's, Nicole.
Yay!
Yay!
We're going to do the crowd go.
That's
wild.
right.
No.
Yes, Nicole, I've known you for a number of years.
Yes, ma'am.
And we've kind of, our friendship has grown, first through business.
Yes.
When I was working more actively as a realtor, and you took care of a lot of my clients.
Yes, ma'am.
And, of course, you still do. You take care of them with Fred and my team. And thank you for that. Just a little side note. Thank you for the excellent job that you do.
It's a blessing.
But we managed to grow even more when we stepped into a faith walk together.
Yes.
And realized that we were serving the same God. We were loving the same Jesus.
Come on now.
And we were asking the same Holy Spirit to fill us up and get us through each day. But I know you have an incredible story on how you got there.
Ah, yes, I do.
Would you mind sharing a little bit with us about your testimony?
Yes, my testimonial is way longer than what we have. So,
okay, I need an abbreviated version. That's right. And then when I was 4.
I know, right? Bringing it back. Man, I've had quite a walk. Still walking. Still walking. I don't know if I did that right. I got into this business when, almost 24 years ago. Mm-hmm. And when I first got into this business, I was not aware of some of the things that make me different in this business. One of the things that I did not realize was that I have an allergy to alcohol. Oh. Did you even know that was a thing?
Yes, I've heard of that.
I did not know that was a thing. I thought that if you didn't drink, then something was wrong with you. And so I spent a lot of the portion of my life trying to figure out how to fit in, if you will. And so, because if you didn't drink socially, right, then people looked at you weird or maybe treated you different. And my personality style, that didn't work so well for me. So, so when I, later on in life, fast forwarding, I found out that I had this allergy. And once I figured out what that was and how that impacted me, I was able to just make some huge, huge differences in my life. So that was a really big eye-opener for me about 3 years ago. About 3 years ago. January 13th is the last day that alcohol ever entered my body.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'll be 3 years without that, which has
That's
been
huge.
Yeah,
huge,
congratulations.
huge in my life.
Am I wrong in assuming that you were pretty good at taking in quantities prior to that?
Yes, very much so. Very much so. And never like a wake up, need a drink kind of girl.
Right.
But man, once you got it in me, okay? Oh boy. I'm like, there's an off switch with people? I'm like, who has an off switch? I'm like, that's a thing. And so, again, just trying to figure out how to find that off switch, if you will, and just also trying to figure out how to fit in. And when I realized that, no, like that's not something that I can have in my body. It may affect other people differently than me, but I am different, man. And I'm okay with that. Right. And so just building me on a different foundation, my relationship with multiple different people in my lives changed how I view myself. I might joke about my hair and my nails and my skin, and that's just me being a girl, but I'm very confident, very, very confident in who I am. And so it's taken some big shifts in my life to just find that out about myself. And man, have I been able to help other women, which has been really, really cool. So sure.
How are you helping these other women?
So when I first figured out this allergy, it's so funny. I wish I was allergic to candy or something, and I love actually no, I love food. So you already know. So there's been people in our industry, which is wild, and also just in life that have maybe heard about my journey, maybe some of the experiences that I've gone through just by sharing my testimonial. And so it's brought women to me, not men per se. There have been some men that have come to me about some things that they've experienced. And so I've been able to actually align them with someone else that I've met in this journey. That's a man. That's just a more appropriate way to handle things because men handle things differently than women. So
Yeah, they're weird.
And they understand
do.
each other.
right?
yeah,
'cause
they do. And
I don't
we
understand
do.
them.
Yeah. So what's been really cool is that some of these people that have come to me because of what they've heard about my story or my testimonial that I've shared, I've been able to help them find sobriety or bring them to God, which has been really, really neat.
That's beautiful.
That's been the biggest impact that I've been able to have with people that I've shared my story with or that have heard about my story. My relationship with my husband and my children is another really neat thing.
Yeah. Yeah. As one that stands on the outside and gets to look in on your relationship with your husband and your children.
I love her.
It's beautiful. It is a beautiful thing to watch.
It's my peoples.
Yes. So would you say that your relationship with Jesus shifted when you stepped into sobriety?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. In so many different ways. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the time that we met? I don't know if you remember.
At the restaurant?
Well, I wouldn't say met, actually. Oh, I was, yeah. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I think that was right before. That was right. I think that was when I was trying to figure out how to still fit in and still learn how to, how many can I have and how do I cut it off after I've started kind of thing. It's just been a very interesting thing about that. And man, I don't have to deal with any of that anymore.
Right?
So much. But I actually met, it's so interesting. I don't know if you realize, because I was doing a little bit of math, but when you started this women's fellowship group,
Yeah.
was after I had taken a different step in life. And so here you are inviting these women to come meet at your house. And I was looking for more of that to connect into. And then it's just like God placed you in my life. And then you just been mama bearing me ever since. And sister bear
Whether
too.
you like it or
sister
not.
bear and mama bear. And yeah, just these, I don't know. It's just been amazing. So what I've found is that I've I've looked at people differently. Maybe some people that I've overlooked that had some of the same experiences, or maybe they also love the same God that I do, and maybe I just didn't hear them the same. But what I found was that when I listened a little bit more because I could hear. I don't know if that makes sense to people, but I got rid of some things in my life so I could hear things differently. And people that I've come in contact before previously, they were coming back. They were resurfacing. And so I started hearing things that people were saying differently. And I've been aligning with more people that are maybe share some of the same, I don't want to say gifts, but
It could be gifts.
yeah.
It could be
I don't know.
gifts.
Some people,
But no, I think it makes complete sense that you had to shut off the noise.
because it got it was real noisy and it distracting.
But it's hard to
Lots-
hear the shepherd's voice when you got so much other noise, right?
Come on now.
Because he talks softly,
Very.
Gently.
gently.
I like that.
Good word. Good word. So tell me, what is the biggest struggle that you have in your faith walk?
No pressure.
No, that's a good one. The biggest struggle, not to take things into my own hands, is my biggest thing.
Oh, let God?
Oh, yeah. I'm like, God, hold on. I got this one, right? And he's like, not today. Not today. And you don't got it today, tomorrow. Then. But I'm still, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, I've seen how you handle things.
you know, I'm like, oh, we're gonna handle this. You know,
That's what he
whatever
says
that
to me.
that way,
seen how you
whatever
hold
that may be. That's just my spirit, right? And I'm a very take charge kind of girl.
You are in good company.
I want to love and I want to support and I want to.
It's like a support group in here. Hello, my name is D'Ette, and I am an overachiever and controller.
Because control. To let go of control is a big one. So that's probably my biggest struggle, is just to let go and let God, and just let him do him. Stand down.
Okay, well, knowing that, how do you overcome it?
So, I don't know if y'all know Denzel Washington.
Who doesn't love Denzel Washington?
Yeah, like where this is going.
Oh, it sounds so familiar.
So there was, you know how they have those on Instagram or Facebook? They'll have these motivational touches that they do and such, where I heard him speaking to a crowd or something. I don't know what he was doing, but he was speaking, and it was speaking to me. And he said something about starting your day off. Make sure that you start every day off on your knees. And I'm like, I heard that a while ago, and then I heard it again, and I heard it again. And he said, put your slippers so far under your bed that it forces you to start your day off the way that you need to. And so as I've been going along this journey, I have learned to put my slippers as far under my bed as possible and start off my day.
I love that. I've never heard that. I love that.
It's wild.
I got to go rearrange and put my slippers under my bed.
Every day.
That's brilliant.
Every day.
It is.
I love it.
You know, you view things differently. You have a humble spirit about yourself, a servant-like mentality.
Right.
Because all of that stuff, all that noise, all that pride, all the things that are not of him get in the way. And if we could just learn to strip that stuff off and start off grateful, thankful, humble every day, it shifts it for me.
Right. How many people, though, do you think actually start their day off with the phone in their hand?
Oh, my.
Instead.
Have I been there? So I am like, I'm far from being above anything, right? Because I've been through all the things, and it's a reactiveness. It's a immediate stress. It's just like this horrible spirit that just comes on you, and man, it's really hard to shake that. Try it both ways, right?
Right.
See how your morning and your day goes.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It just is. It's harder to get off you.
So in order to break myself of it, because me too, what I did is I closed everything on my phone except for the Bible app.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that when I pick up the phone, it's the Bible app.
You know,
like I'd have to shut that.
Yes.
And go somewhere else. And that's the only way I could break myself. And so it just tells me, where are you supposed to be? Right here. Go get it.
Yeah. A lot of people would say, put your phone downstairs, plug it in across the room. For me, there's so many things that I have on my phone that I have a very color-coded calendar, and my alarms are the same way. So that's funny you say that, because in the morning time when I wake up, the first thing that I see is my worship music, because I go to bed listening to that every night, like clockwork.
Yeah.
And so, that's my jam right there.
Right, Jaimee, what do you do? Are you checking Facebook first thing in the morning?
Have you checked Facebook first thing in the morning?
Oh, yes. Definitely have done that. Truth be told, I don't have anything solid in place that is a routine that I'm doing the very first thing in the morning right now.
I'm going to call her.
Do it. See if I answer.
Good morning.
Obviously.
Just ignore.
Yeah. You know that little focus button that she showed you? Yeah, she's a master.
I know I've called her after hours now.
You can call her all you want.
I know, she's smart.
I like your idea, though, of having the Bible app open when you shut it all down at night. I like that.
That's the last thing I do at night, is I shut everything and open up the Bible app.
Yeah. That'll save your battery, too. Sorry.
Do we have issues
I'm just
with
saying. I was plugged in a little bit, too. Right before I came here, I was like, give me one more minute on my battery. I didn't say I was perfect. I'm working on it every day.
No, I am fairly confident that no one at this table is perfect. And actually, I think the strive for perfection is part of our issue. I think that we need to celebrate the imperfections. I read one this morning. Total side note, but I can do that because it's my show. But that they gave these adults this test, and it was basically they had to draw, and they drew it with their main hand, and then they drew it holding it a different way, and then they had to draw it with their left hand, and shut their eyes. Right. Of course, these are horrible. None of these people draw for a living. Right. So, and everybody is all embarrassed about, how it looks. They do the same thing with kids. The kids celebrated.
Oh, of course they do.
The farther off it was. It was like, oh, look at this one. This is so ridiculous. And they laugh and they celebrate it. But they celebrate the imperfections on their way to growing and striving for perfection, but they're okay with not getting there because they know to celebrate the imperfections. I'm at, man, that hit home. That hit home. So what do you do now to grow in your faith? I mean, you kind of stepped, correct me if I'm wrong on the paraphrase, right? We went through a season. I know you've known Jesus for a while.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
But you weren't necessarily walking with him all that time. Then a few years ago, you learn about an allergy and you step into sobriety and there's a shift. And now your relationship with Jesus kind of comes forefront as he walks through that with you. But I know that the enemy loves to send folks to attack when we are getting closer to our Lord. And the way to overcome is obviously we're putting on the armor every day.
I was going to say, equip yourself with the armor is the big one.
But what does that look like for you?
I'm a very visual, shocker, very visual person. See her looking at me. I see her eyeballs. Ephesians 6. That's my jam. I live there. I teach my daughter to live there.
Oh, I love that.
So because she watches me, and through me, she practices as well, which is kind of cool.
It is,
Very
and
cool.
it's kind of scary.
It is. So I'll share this with you later on. There's some really cool stuff that I've learned about myself over the years as well, and there's some things that have been spoken over me and to me, right? Just that positive and warrior-like sense that we have. I don't know. I'll say I received it because it's been spoken over me, and so it's been spoken over me so many times that I now put it into play as I wake up in the morning and I'm saying my affirmations. I'm doing my miracle morning. I use things from the Bible. I use things from the world as well because there's great things in this world.
Right.
Hal Elrod is amazing, and he's got an app that is phenomenal for helping us set that tone for the morning and the evening. And so I dibble and dabble in multiple different things to help prepare me and equip me for the day.
Love that.
I can absolutely tell you that I don't. There has been days that I've maybe didn't shut that computer off and I worked a little bit later than I was supposed to, didn't have that evening time routine carved out.
I'm so surprised to hear that.
Fell asleep to my good old worship music though, because that's my Jesus music. Man, that keeps me where I need to be. But I've hit that snooze button that you're not supposed to do, and then my morning time routine, if you will, has been it's been messy, and man, my days are like me carrying the weight of the world all on me like it's mine, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And he makes
I get
it so easy. It's so funny. He makes it so easy, and we just, as humans, just overcomplicate the heck out of things.
Yeah.
So true.
So being a business owner, I know my struggle is protecting a Sabbath time.
Oh, yeah. You had us read a book about that.
I did have you read a book about that. Yeah. Welcome to my Bible study. How do you protect yours?
That was a snarl. Practice every day. Practice every day. I am a workaholic. I have an allergy to that as well, but I don't know how to shut that one off. So, because mama's got to make money for her family. So, man, protecting my Sabbath, I would say that I have to shut it all off, including my phone. And then I have to plan for time with my family, whether that's date night, whether that's Lexi and I are going to make caramel apples together. We're playing family game night on Friday night. Like, it has to be something that's pre-planned for me.
Right.
And if it's not, then
something else gets to suck it up.
distracted.
Yeah. So you live by the calendar.
I have to.
Me too.
I have to.
Me too.
That's why you made me shut my phone off, so my calendar wouldn't remind me. No.
I know. I got to say, I saw my husband's calendar today. It's so empty.
scared. I
I
know
bet
it.
you it is.
So I'm like, what is this white space that you speak of?
I'm better with, but you got to be careful not to overplan. I've done that.
Oh, amen. Yeah.
You fill your calendar
I'm
too much.
not going to show you my calendar. Right
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's practice, right? So it's definitely
right.
planning.
I am.
Planning to
I'm
take that time off.
the epitome of the mom that is do as I say, not as I do.
Same. I'm right there with you. That's why we get along.
And we aspire to do better
Yes, we do. Together.
What's the one thing, if you could share with folks, you would want to make sure that they heard?
Forgive yourself. Tomorrow's a new day.
You had that one ready.
That's
I
right.
practice that one too.
I have an easier time forgiving others than I do forgiving myself.
Definitely.
And yet Jesus didn't qualify it when he said to forgive. It wasn't just forgive others. He just told us to forgive, right? And if he forgave us, then shouldn't we also forgive ourselves? But man, that's hard.
It is.
It's hard because I know when I've fallen short. And I have a much higher expectation of myself than I do of the rest of the world because I think they're all cray-cray.
Very much so. Seriously. I don't know where they came from.
I know, right? Like, why would you create that? People. I so appreciate the time that you took today because I know as a workaholic what it costs.
Lots of families to serve.
And you had to drive a ways to get here.
It's all good.
In this
It's worth
hurricane wind, which... By the way, how come your hair looks so good? I
So
walked
good.
in
You
and
see
I was
mine is
like,
up.
I didn't
I
come
had to
from
wrap
the
mine up.
valley.
man, I showed up. I was like,
I came from
Shaka Khan.
Anchorage. Do that next time. Just go all the way to Anchorage.
All the
and
way
then
to
come back
Seriously,
out.
I
It'll be
was like,
fine.
Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan. It was like, bam.
right.
So it went up.
I know. Those little hair tips, those are just a perk for you folks. All right. Thanks so much for joining us for Truth Quest, where we are working to find a little bit of grace to sprinkle around, even if a little is all we've got. As we conclude this episode of Truth Quest, we invite you to be a part of the conversation. Send in your questions, thoughts, and reflections. Don't forget, like, follow, and subscribe to stay updated on our journey together. Until next time, may you continue to seek truth with courage and remember to sprinkle a little grace, even if that's all you've got.